I'd like to welcome you to this meditation. It's a beautiful morning, and I just wanted to bring a small thing to your attention. We've talked over the last week or so about how the mind seeks and all these different things and finding internal silence through all these methods. But we haven't really talked about those times when we don't want to go into a lot of self-therapy. It is self-therapy, all of it. But times when we just want to sit quietly. And I really enjoy those types of meditations as well. So when you sit quietly, listen. But don't take the focus from inside and put it outside for a second. Just listen. You know something? If you're having internal arguments about that with thoughts, just say, look, just for a couple seconds, we will return to these arguments in a minute. We've been doing it for all these years. Let's just settle down for a second and just listen for a second. And get into the habit of doing that. Listen to how quiet the world is. The Buddha used to say that it was an illusion that you could seek peace here by acting upon this information. It was seeking, right? He encouraged us to let go of things, to let go of our needs, so that one by one, this area becomes empty. It's not full of all these needs. And what that helps us do is to connect to how quiet the world is. But we can do that before this is empty. Here I am encouraging you to have an empty head. You know what I'm saying? We can listen to how quiet the world is and say, we don't need to seek peace because we're surrounded by it. We're surrounded by it. And yet you will say, but really the world's not peaceful. Look at what all the things that people are doing to each other. But it is like that empty room full of noisy people. The world is peaceful and silent and quiet, but it's full of conflicted people. And they're conflicted because they are not at peace in here. Not because there's danger out here. Think of it. How many times in your life have you actually been in serious danger? And yet we spend our whole life in fear. How many times have you noticed how quiet the world really is? And yet we spend our whole life with a mind full of thought and all this banging around. So it's a good idea to listen to how quiet the world is and then say, you know something? The world, it looks like it's full of conflict because the people are full of conflict because they are listening to this. And when you listen to this, and this is your balance, all these needs, then the world that doesn't give you all that you want feels like it's against you. But when you realize that we can just let that stuff go, then we realize that really the reason why we are feeling conflict is because we're needy. But as we let those things go, we begin to live in the real world. We begin to live in the quiet world. And we can listen to the conflict around us that starts here, in the imagination. And if a person follows that imagination, they begin to bring it into the real world. They build conflict into the world by bringing it in from here. They think of a certain thing, they build it, they live it, and we live in a world full of conflict. But it's not because conflict existed in the world first, it existed in the mind first, and it became conflict in reality when we brought it into the world. Which means that we do not need to live in a world of conflict if we can get to understand the true meaning of peacefulness, if that makes any sense. Anyways, we'll continue to talk about these types of things, and I'll let you go for now to enjoy your day. But I thank you again for coming to this meditation talk each day, or every few days. I do invite you to subscribe if you wish to, and certainly do enjoy doing this. And we thank you again. Enjoy your day.